Welcome back, welcome back. Democrat parties are turning down in Florida, turning on one of their own because they can't get the seat, but she could. And they say she's gonna pay dearly for this betrayal. Now, keep in mind, people, this is the same Democrat Party that Tim Walz was leading over. Remember when Tim Walz had two of his people killed because they didn't agree with him about the Somali thing? It's the exact same thing that's happening in Florida. Let that sink in. Democrats will kill their own people, their own members of Congress, if they don't do what they want. So let's go ahead and get this video, shall we?
Go ahead and hit that like. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Y'all, this is a very, very interesting story. The redistricting, the national redistricting is not only taking away Democratic seats in Congress and some Republican seats. It looks like the total might be up to a net gain for Republicans of up to 20 seats. We're going to see how that plays out. But y'all, it's also fracturing the Democratic coalition. We've already seen your girl, Jasmine Crockett, essentially kicked out of her district when it was redistricted, when it was redrawn, with her then deciding to run for Senate. I guess she thought that would be the easier route rather than running in a redrawn district with new people. And she lost. And now, y'all, this is among many other examples, but today we're going to be talking about Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who was also redrawn out of her district, and she had to make a decision. Does she run in a majority black district and potentially kick a black person out of their district, or take over a seat that was held by a black person, y'all? Black folks in Florida are livid that she decided to do so after they warned her not to. We're going to bring you all the details, including the black political class of Florida absolutely laying into Debbie, y'all. Make sure you watch until the end, then I want to get your opinion. Without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it.
Official Florida Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz is entering the race for the state's 20th congressional district, a seat held by black lawmakers for the last 3 decades. Her announcement drawing pushback from those who are now questioning why she's seeking a seat with deep roots in the black community. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten is your reporter live in Lauderdale Lakes with reaction. Ted?
Yeah, Lauren, there are 6 black candidates and Debbie Wasserman Schultz now in this race for District 20. And candidates are not mincing words. They are furious that Wasserman Schultz decided to run in this district.
Today, I'm announcing my candidacy for re-election in Congressional District 20.
When Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz announced that she's running in the newly created District 20, it set off a firestorm in the party and within the African-American community. Sheila Sherfilis McCormick held the seat until she resigned during an ethics investigation. She's running again.
You should run where you feel like you're most compatible. And the truth is, today I watched the video and a lot of my constituents sent it, and the one question they all said to me, what is her why? Why this district?
This area has been
Hey guys, it's Dylan. If you're like me and you like getting paid to give your opinion, then go to beforthright.com. Sign up and Forthright will send you surveys. And you'll get paid instantly.
It's been held by black lawmakers for 34 years. It's a crowded field. Many who are running say black voices and representation need to be protected.
Now, I told you that the black political class had warned. They had warned Wasserman Schultz, don't do it. Don't do it, y'all. You think she listened? First, let's just take a look at a pretty straightforward warning and the reasoning behind it. Now, whether you agree or disagree, this is the reasoning that the black political class in Florida gave to Wasserman Schultz not to run for this particular office. And as you already see, she didn't listen. Y'all, this is going to be a major problem. Let's take a look at this warning.
Running in that seat, which means Wasserman Schultz will be counting on her opponents in the primary, splitting up the African-American vote and allowing her to become the nominee. The Broward County Democratic Black Caucus has asked Wasserman Schultz not to run for that seat, and it is clear that if she did run, it would turn into an ugly and potentially racial affair.
I did talk to her. She explained to me how important seniority is in Congress, and we want to keep her in Congress. But we're just asking her to consider running in the district that she was thrown into, or even in the coastal district where Moskowitz says he's going to run, where it's predominantly Jew. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Moskowitz, it's like they're vying to protect their seats. And what we're saying is we've been an ally. We've been a supporter. We want to have someone with our lived experience. Let our community kind of decide through the voting process who that person is going to be.
So as we already showed you in a previous video, y'all, the Congressional Black Caucus, they're looking at losing significant representation and significant power as a result of all of this redistricting and potentially black folks losing to other candidates. And in Florida, now the gloves are off. They don't care. They're calling Wasserman Schultz out. Basically, they're calling her a traitor, okay? They're calling her a traitor. Maybe they didn't use that word, but wait until you see exactly what the words that they do use, and then you tell me. I don't think it's an exaggeration that they literally feel stabbed in the back by Wasserman Schultz and her decision to run in a majority black district, y'all.
We're not the candidate of choice for our community, and to ignore that and run anyways just shows you do not respect black voices, you do not respect the black community.
I'm very troubled also about what is happening because it's dividing our party. Alliances that we've built over time are shattering, and it's unfortunate.
Don't say you're thinking about it and all that. Just say it. Be who you are. Show us who you are. But you didn't. And so that is another layer of character that was displayed.
Another candidate in the race is Rudy Moyes. He sent a statement saying Wasserman Schultz's decision to run in District 20 sends the wrong message to Dems all over Florida. Despite the backlash, Wasserman Schultz said she can represent the people who live here and says the whole redistricting plan is to weaken Democrats.
Because we're the most Democratic, bluest county in the state, they are intentionally trying to blow apart Broward's clout and our power.
Now, Luther Campbell is also running for this seat. He put out a statement this
Oh boy. Oh man. Dems turn on Dems. You remember last year when these Democrat woman did not agree with Tim Walz and the whole Democrat Party would turn on her and that got her killed? It's the exact same thing going on now with the Democrat Party turning on each other because one white woman, she's a Democrat, wants to get a seat as all black Democrats. Let that sink in. They said they're the people of peace and equal rights and not racist. And here you are, you got one black white woman want to get a seat that a black lady gave up in the Democrat Party, and all the Democrats turn on her. That don't sound no very nice to me, does it, people? Then they said they're the Democrat Party, they're the party of peace, understanding. But they're the same ones trying to force same-sex marriage, gender pronouns, gender surgery down people's throats. Don't sound very peaceful to me, do it? Do it, y'all? Come on. They don't. Well, why is that? It's simple reason why is that. Because they do not care for people. So let's get back to the video. I'm getting my little grub on while I'm doing that video. So let's go.
Afternoon, calling Wasserman Schultz power-hungry, selfish, and politically greedy. Now, if Wasserman Schultz were to win this seat, what that would mean is that for the entire state of Florida, there would only be one person who's black in Congress, and that would be Frederica Wilson in Miami. Live in Lauderdale Lakes, Ted Scott, CBS News Miami.
So Wasserman Schultz came out and she gave her reasoning for running for this particular district. She had an option of running in at least 2 different districts, which may have produced a win for her. So this wasn't like her only option. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is that in Congress, seniority matters. So if you're looking at purely political power, you would want Wasserman Schultz on your side, regardless of her race, regardless of her ethnicity. She shares your similar politics. She was once a leader in the Democratic Party, and I would say she still is, even though her profile has largely abated from previous years. And just political power, she's been in Congress for 20 years, something like that. So seniority-wise, you would definitely want her representing you if you're looking at bringing home the bacon. But a lot of people are looking more at the color of your skin than what you can do politically for them.
I have spent years, decades, getting to know and working with people in the black community. They know and trust me, and that's the feedback that I've been getting all in the last few weeks since it's illegal redistricting.
This does come at a time when, because of the Supreme Court decision in Calais, that you're seeing southern states move quickly to try to chop up and eliminate Democratic seats, many of them held by African Americans. It's likely that the Congressional Black Caucus, the numbers in the Congressional Black Caucus, are going to be much smaller in the next Congress, regardless of what Democratic wins there are. So I'm curious if in the course of doing these deliberations about this, if you had conversations with Hakeem Jeffries, with members of the Congressional Black Caucus, and what they told you about the prospect of you going into a seat that has traditionally, for the last 3 decades, been held by an African American.
I'm trying to pay off your loan.
Stop calling me. You sound like a psycho. I swear to God.
I'm calling you to let you know that we're going to pay off every loan you have. Like, it's literally a good thing.
I understand, but I'm not interested.
Yes, I have. I am very close with my CBC colleagues and obviously close with Leader Jeffries as a member of his leadership team. And we all know, and we're all outraged. This is a very sensitive time. This is a very difficult, outrageous time. The decision made by the Supreme Court in the Calais decision, it really was unacceptable. And when Democrats win the majority, we're going to pass legislation to ensure that we can have, we can prohibit mid-decade redistricting so that we can ensure that we have fair redistricting that people can count on and that people's voices are not intentionally silenced as Republicans have done here.
But did anyone in the Congressional Black Caucus say to you not to run?
No, none of them asked me not to run.
So Wasserman Schultz, she previously represented a district with a large Hispanic community, and now she's saying, hey, I'm used to representing minorities. Is that really the same? I don't think that's the same, y'all. You learned how to speak Spanish. Well, black folks don't speak Spanish mostly, right? I mean, there are some black Hispanic people, but that's not what we're talking about here. So you can see the Democratic coalition fracturing right now. This is a case in point. And a lot of the Florida Democrats, black Democrats in particular, feel absolutely betrayed. And there's still no guarantee that Wasserman Schultz is even going to win, but we'll have to wait and see for that. So let me know, what do you think? Now, I think a lot of y'all are going to say, hey, the color of your skin shouldn't matter. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about whether or not the color of your skin should matter. The Democrats have set up a political ideology where the color of your skin does matter. And she's playing, Debbie Wasserman Schultz and all the other Democrats are willingly playing within that system. So I'm really analyzing this based on the system that they set up. And if we analyze their system that they have constructed and they have willingly decided to and chosen to participate in, this is a huge backstab. I mean, if you look at it from the perspective of, according to the Democrats, the color of your skin matters. According to the Democrats, black representation is paramount. It's one of the most important things among other minority representations, right? They say that this is one of the most important things in the country right now, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz is violating that principle. She's willingly participating in the philosophy while personally violating the principle for her own political future and her own political gain. That's the way I see it. Now, do I fault her for that? I don't necessarily agree totally with that system to start with, but because she is a part of it and an architect of it and a willing participant in it, yeah, she's stabbing her own people in the back. But let me know what y'all think. Drop a comment down below, but before you do, please stop, hit the share button,